English Grammar Focus Grade 8. Unit 7. Pollution.
Activity 1. Listen. Imagine we can travel in time. A reporter is visiting New York City in January 2050. Tick the kinds of place he finds.
Whoa, what a journey! Well, ladies and gentlemen, here I am in the heart of New York City in January 2050. Oops, sorry. That's okay. Sorry, I didn't see you coming. It's okay, no problem. Okay, now let me tell you what I can see around me. Here in the streets, there are plenty of taxis, all yellow, but there are no private cars at all. And up in the air, there are some blue and white things flying around. What is it? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a bus. And another one. There's another bus at this bus stop next to me, and it's taking off into the air. Amazing! These buildings around me look the same as I remember them. There aren't any new buildings. And there are men and women in uniform walking around and riding bikes. The uniforms are really colorful. They're easy to see. Bright red. Excuse me, who are those people in bright red uniforms?
Oh, they're cops, police. What color uniforms do they wear?
Blue.
How can you see them in blue? That's crazy.
Yes, red is easy to see. Thank you. There don't seem to be many people on the sidewalk, which is strange. But the streets are full of cyclists. The streets are full of yellow cabs and people riding bikes. And the most amazing thing of all is this. Everyone looks so happy. They're all looking happy and smiley. I'll just talk to this woman who has stopped at the red light. Excuse me, why are you smiling?
Oh, because it's a nice day. It's warm and sunny, a typical January day in the city. Oh, it's a great place to be. Oh, the light screen. I have to pick up my daughter. I don't want to be late. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for talking to us.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Listen again. Tick the points the reporter mentions. Activity 2. Listen and fill in the missing words or phrases. I hate pollution. It makes me really angry. I think pollution is greed. People don't care about the environment, so they pollute the air just to make lots of money. Big companies are the worst. They pretend they're not polluting. They have the money to say they are green. Pollution affects us all. We are all less healthy because of companies that polluted the air or our rivers. Everybody needs to think about how we can reduce the amount of pollution we create. Not using the car when we can walk is one way. Turning off lights we don't need is another. Barack Obama says he's going to do his best to help the earth. I really hope he does, because if pollution gets any worse, we'll be in serious trouble.
Unit 8. English-speaking countries.
Activity 1. A radio host is interviewing Stella, a fashion designer. Listen and tick the question you hear and write the name in the answer column.
Now it's time for my guest. It's Stella, the fashion designer. She has a really exciting new collection, and she's here with us today. Thanks for coming to the studio, Stella. We're very happy to see you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Okay, let me ask you some questions. First, all we know you as is Stella. What's your last name?
It's Kim. My name is Stella Kim.
I guess just Stella is easier to remember. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm originally from Toronto.
Oh. Where do you live? Do you still live in Canada?
No, I live in Paris now, but my family still lives in Toronto.
I see. Well, Stella, where do you work?
Well, I guess I work mainly in France. My company is in Paris.
And what do you do in your free time?
Well, I love to travel. Oh, and I read a lot.
Interesting. And what's your favorite kind of music?
I like all kinds of music, really, but, well, I would say classical music is my favorite.
Really? Okay, Stella. Oh, well, I'm afraid we're just about out of time. Thanks again for being a guest on our program.
You're welcome.
And if you want to see Stella's designs, go to our website. That's www.radio23.com. Activity 2. Listen and write true or false for each statement. The Earth is big, but it is facing a serious problem. High population. The population is increasing too rapidly. Moreover, the most serious problem of modern times is that man is destroying the Earth's natural resources and transforming huge areas into wasteland. As a result, it is becoming extremely difficult to grow enough to feed the world's rapidly increasing population. A way of protecting all the wildlife on the Earth must also be found, as many species are in danger of disappearing completely from the face of the Earth. The dangers, however, are not confined solely to the land and the sea. The smoke in the atmosphere, for example, is increasing so much that the amount of sunlight has been reduced in many cities. Man's whole environment is being changed in a serious way. Unit 9. Natural disasters.
Activity 1. Listen to the passage and decide if the statements are true or false. Write T or F at the end of each statement. Tsunamis are large and powerful ocean waves that grow in size as they reach the shore. They can cause major damage as they rush inland, flooding cities and destroying homes. Tsunamis are caused by a large displacement of water. Think of when you are sitting in the bathtub and you move forward in the tub. This can cause a relatively large wave. The same thing happens in the ocean when a large amount of water is suddenly moved. A number of events may cause this kind of movement, including earthquakes, landslides, volcanic eruptions, glaciers breaking off, and event meteorites. Most tsunamis are caused by earthquakes. An earthquake occurs when a large area of the Earth's crust suddenly moves. When this happens underwater, big gaps may appear on the ocean floor. When water moves in to fill this gap, a tsunami is born.
Activity 2. Listen and complete each sentence with no more than 3 words. Children and their response to disaster. Children depend on daily routines. They wake up, eat breakfast, go to school, and play with friends. When emergencies of disasters interrupt this routine, many children may become anxious. In a disaster, they'll look to you and other adults for help. How you react in an emergency gives them clues on how to act. If you react with alarm, your children may become more scared. They see your fear as proof that the danger is real. If you seem overcome with a sense of loss, your children may feel their losses more strongly. Children's fears may also arrive from their imagination, and you should take these feelings seriously. A child who feels afraid is afraid. Your words and actions can provide them reassurance. When talking with your children, be sure to present a realistic picture that is both honest and manageable. Unit 10. Communication.
Activity 1. Listen and write T or F for each statement. Learning a language. Speech is just one of the most important ways of communicating. It consists of far more than just making noises. To talk and also to be understood by other people, we have to speak the same language. It means we have to use combination of sounds that everyone agrees stands for a particular object or idea. Communication would be impossible if everyone made up their own language. Learning a language properly is very important. The basic vocabulary of English isn't very large, and only about 2,000 words are needed to speak it quite well. But the more words you know, the more idea you can express, and the more precise you can be about their exact meaning. Words are the most important things we use in communicating what we want to say. The way we say the words is also very important. Our tone of voice can express many emotions and shows whether we are pleased or angry, for instance.
Activity 2. Listen to the passage and answer the questions by circling A, B, or C. For the first time, scientists have been able to send a simple mental message from one person to another without any contact between the two, thousands of miles apart in India and France. Research led by experts at Harvard University shows technology can be used to transmit information from one person's brain to another's. It is a kind of technological realization of the dream of telepathy, but it is definitely not magical. Giulio Ruffini, a theoretical physicist and co-author of the research, told AFP. For the experiment, one person wearing a wireless, internet-linked electroencephalogram, or EEG, would think a simple greeting like "Hola" or "Ciao." A computer translated the words into digital binary code presented by a series of ones or zeros. Then, this message was emailed from India to France and delivered via robot to the receiver. The subjects receiving the message did not hear or see the words themselves, but were correctly able to report the flashes of light that corresponded to the message. Unit 11. Science and Technology.
Activity 1. Listen to the passage and decide if the statements are true or false. Write T or F at the end of each statement. Have you ever wondered who to thank when you're getting your coffee maker ready for your first cup of the day? Coffee beans have been made into beverages since the 11th century, but a German housewife named Melita Benz updated brewing for the modern world. At the turn of the 20th century, the usual method was to tie up the coffee grounds in a small cloth bag and place the bag into a pot of boiling water. The result was a bitter, gritty drink. Benz came up with the new method. She put a piece of thick absorbent paper into a brass pot with a few holes punched in it and poured the coffee through this two-part contraption, which trapped the grounds and allowed the filtered liquid to seep through and drip into the waiting cup. She received a patent for her coffee filter system in 1908 and founded a business that still exists today.
Activity 2. Listen to the passage and answer each question with no more than 4 words or a number. Abby Fleck was only 8 years old when inspiration struck. She and her dad had just finished cooking bacon, only to discover that there weren't any paper towels to soak up the fat. Much to Abby's mother's dismay, the pair improvises and use the classified section of a newspaper instead. Suddenly, Abby had an idea. Why not hang the bacon up while it cooks? Not only would this render paper towels unnecessary, but it would also make the bacon healthier. In 1993, after Abby and her dad spent some time experimenting, the duo brought forth a microwave-safe dish with 3 upright bars on which to hang bacon while it cooked. They patented their idea a year later and eventually struck a distribution deal with Walmart. Fleck's grandfather took out a loan on his farm to pay for the first 100,000 dishes, but it seems to have been worth it. In 2002, Entrepreneur.com reported that the new company was earning more than $1 million in royalties annually, and Makin' Bacon dishes are still sold at Walmart as well as Kmart and Target. Unit 12. Life on Other Planets.
Activity 1. Listen to the passage and decide if the statements are true or false. Write T or F at the end of each statement. A UFO is the reported sighting of an object or light seen in the sky or on land, whose appearance, trajectory, actions, motions, lights and colors do not have a logical, conventional or natural explanation, and which cannot be explained not only by the original witness, but by scientists or technical experts who try to make a common sense identification after examining the evidence. All kinds of people see UFOs. It does not matter whether you are rich or poor, educated or uneducated, young or old. In fact, many people who report seeing UFOs were not even looking for them when they have their sighting. The chances for seeing a UFO are greater for those people who live in small towns or in the country and are outside late at night. Most of us have never seen a UFO personally. Some colleagues of ours say that their interest in UFO was sparked by seeing a UFO when they were children or adults.
Activity 2. Listen to the passage and answer each question with no more than 3 words. We know there's life on Earth, but could there be life on Neptune? And if there is life on Neptune, what kind of life is it? Wherever we find liquid water on Earth, we find life, whether that water is thousands of meters beneath the ground, inside nuclear reactors, or inside glaciers. As long as there's water, there's life. Of course, it's just microbial life, but still, life. To find life on Neptune, the planet would need to have a source of energy that bacterial life can exploit, as well as a standing source of liquid water. At its surface, the temperature of Neptune dips down to 55 Kelvin. That's very cold, and there's no way liquid water could exist. But as you travel down into Neptune's interior, temperatures and pressures increase. And there could very well be a point inside the planet where water remains as a liquid and life could exist inside it. Of course, this region would be hundreds of kilometers below the surface and would be impossible for us to study. So for now, it will have to remain a mystery.